Hey guys, Lancer here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for joining me in pretty much one of the earliest videos I've ever made. Now, the reason why I'm doing these is because I think after the Magic 30th anniversary release, it's actually more important that people understand exactly what has been agreed by Wizards of the Coast and what is still available for us to find out more information about the reserve list printing of future proxy cards and what cards are on the list. We're going to go through all of that. Let's stick with it. So one of the things which obviously a lot of people probably wouldn't even want me to point to this guy anymore because of what's been happening and a lot of hate coming to Hasbro from Rudy and all these others. I'm not saying it's unwarranted. I think it actually makes perfect sense. They've done a terrible job of communicating, and also their communication is very much based on what feels like greed. So, what is going on? Mark Rosewater has said they have recently migrated the Magic website and some Making Magic articles didn't transfer properly. Now, a lot of, on the other side, as far as the MTG community is concerned, they've noticed that the reserve list official reprint policy disappeared for a certain period of time. Now, it is currently one that can be found. So if I click on this link on the reserve list is no longer posted on WotC's website by CableKit2 on Magic TCG on Reddit, we can see that it takes us to the official Wizards of the Coast reprint policy, and on here they have why we reprint cards and reserve list. Let's cover it. The complete list of reserve list cards appears at the end of this document. Reserve list cards will never be reprinted again in a functionally identical form. The card is considered functionally identical to another card if it has the same card type, subtype, mana abilities, mana cost, power, and toughness. No card will be added to the reserve list in the future. No cards from the Mercadian Masks set and later sets will be reserved. In consideration of the past commitments, however, no card will be removed from this list. The exclusion of any particular card from the reserve list doesn't indicate there are any plans to reprint it. So, this is still there. Interestingly, this is still there. And on here, we have all of the cards that you've known and come to love. So, no changes as far as what's on the reserve list. Mark Rosewater has mentioned that they were going to make sure that they didn't do any changes to Black Border and all that other thing, but that pretty much means it is guaranteed from now on the Wizards of the Coast can print all of the proxies, make all of them as cheap as possible, as expensive as possible. It is not going to, as far as I can tell, don't hold me to this, as far as I can tell, it is not going to affect the reserved list printing. They have not promised anything about printing the original OG reserve list cards, revised or anything else, in the form that you can play them in a tournament. You can look at them and go, these are the same as what they were 20 something years ago. 24. Oh man, these cards are old. They're really old. I'm not going to say that the prices that they can't be at is not expensive, but just don't forget where we came from. And while it is hard for people in Australia like myself to get hands on these kinds of cards for a reasonable price, I'm just saying that neither is getting the MTG 30th anniversary. And I will say that other than people opening them up and getting YouTube views, which I would probably recommend you guys to try to hold back as much as you can. If you really want, we can do some online rerolls of some guy creating a Magic 30th anniversary where you just get to open the packs online for free and we can see what we get. But I'm just saying that it's probably not best to get this practice further out. But judging by what happened, 35 minutes to sell out the reserve list, 35 minutes to sell out the MTG 30th anniversary, we can go and extrapolate that forward. If they reprint other sets that have reserve list cards but non-tournament legal, the reception is going to be very similar. People are going to buy them out. There are going to be foils. There's going to be Black Lotuses running around. Just keep in mind that these cards have a feeling behind them that a Magic player would not enjoy. Now, I don't know how to explain it, but I have proxies which I can make, but I have not made proxies of all the cards that I ever wanted. And more importantly, the proxy decks don't feel like my decks. The proxy cards don't feel like my cards. They are literally just a piece of paper with some writing on them, or if I went to got a bit more creative, a printout of the picture to make it look nice. Outside of that, it is very, very hard to get the same feeling as when you're looking and holding a reserve list card, or even just a good card that you have some meaning behind. Like Ravnica. I got into Magic when Ravnica first came out. Some of those cards, not that good, but I love the Dredge cards. I really liked the black and green Gargari themed Dredge deck. And I know Dredge is powerful, but I liked the crappy Dredge cards because there are at least a few of those. Maybe 2 out of the 9 or 10 that had Dredge on them. But what I meant is the cards have meaning as far as you're concerned, the cards have meaning, especially if they're not considered a proxy. Outside of that, you're going to pretty much be buying them for resale purposes and collectability, but no one's going to buy them because they bring back good old memories. They're going to completely be different from the old school Magic cards that people are still willing to pay and spend a decent amount of money. Now, are they going to bring the prices for people that want to collect these cards? As far as the old school ones, then yeah, possibly. They might bring them down in price, but not the reserve list cards. As far as I'm concerned, the reserve list cards are dropping for a completely separate reason from 2021 than anything to do with MTG 30th anniversary. And we'll cover that in more detail as far as the economics goes. Anyways, guys, bit of a rambling video, but thanks for watching and see you next time.